Hello! Today we are going to paint the Goblin Carnage Orb. It's an incredibly detailed model, so we'll focus on how to paint such complex models in simple steps. The goal is to make it look its best on the game table in a timely manner. For this figure, we'll use zenithal priming. First, we apply black primer all over the figure and then grey primer from above. It's a quick way to establish initial lights and shadows. We now paint all the goblin skin with Biel-tan green. With the zenithal priming trick, the skin already starts to look great with the natural shadows and light spots. We'll make it even better soon, but it's a great start. Using a dry brush, we apply deep green to the skin, starting to define the lights and cleaning up the wash we previously applied. Again, with dry brushing, we apply goblin green, focusing our strokes on the goblin's raised areas to create a more exaggerated highlight point. For the clothing and the leather elements, we use Wyldwood contrast, alternating some goblins with sepia ink to achieve different leather tones. As we can observe, volumes are quickly defined by using more liquid paints like contrasts or inks, which accumulate in the crevices, giving more contrast to shadow areas. We paint the spherical structure and the elements that will be metallic, such as weapons and shoulder pads, with black. The black base helps the metallic paint shine much more than any other base color. Again, with dry brushing, we apply Leadbelcher over all the areas we previously painted black as the first pass for the metallics. This technique highlights the high reliefs and gives texture to the flat areas, resembling worn metal. We now apply skin highlights using a mix of 70% grass green with 30% ice yellow, making sure we only paint the areas where the light would hit the most. For finer highlights, such as the edges of eyes and wrinkles, we use a thinner brush for more precision. With wolf grey, we paint the eyeballs of all the goblins. This step requires patience for a clean result. Take your time and you'll see a significant improvement. Now, with Scarlet Blood, we paint the eyes. Using a light color as a base, the red will be more saturated. Next, let's paint the smiling goblin's teeth with wolf grey. For rivets and details, we apply Scarlet Blood. This will add a color contrast to the piece since it complements the green color. For the flames of the flamethrower, we use flat yellow as the base color. Then, with hot orange, we paint the high areas of the flame, creating a transition between the base color and this one. Finally, with Scarlet Blood, we paint the highest areas, seeking to transition the colors and create a heat effect. Just as we painted steel, we apply copper to the flamethrower rings. This will give a nice variation to all the metals. We will now enhance the goblin's highlights with a 50-50 mix of flat yellow and ice yellow. This will be the skin's final step as we're trying to push the highlights as much as we can. We perform this step now because we can see how much brightness is lacking. Often, if we try to paint an element in one step, we might overdo the lights. This way, we'll work on the entire piece to ensure the same level of detail. This also helps us control the color saturation on the piece and ensure the entire color palette is in harmony. With matte brown, we paint the entire base's surface, later applying a dry brush with flat earth. With a 50-50 mix of flat earth and khaki, we continue dry brushing to highlight the highest areas of the base. Now, with pure khaki, we mark the edges of the woods and the grains. Remember, wood grains always go in the same direction, and the lines almost never cross each other. We apply a base color to all the dynamites with Scarlet Blood. We can now take this opportunity to paint other elements like cables in blue, red or black to give a nice variation. With black-gray, we paint fabric elements and also areas that will be metallic. And now, with a 50-50 mix of dark gray and dark blue-gray, we dry brush the fabric. Finally, with Leadbelcher, we highlight the metallic zones of the base. And that's it! This painting guide aims to demystify painting detailed figures like a Goblin Carnage Orb, breaking it down into manageable steps. This will result in a stunning piece for your gaming table. Thank you for following along, let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.